Hey guys, welcome back to another video on my channel. Today we are going to be showcasing more data packs for Minecraft 1.21. Now, data packs will be linked in the description in the order I showcase them. And we're going to start off with the first one, which you can already see the changes around me. And this data pack is called A Cliff Under a Tree. And it's basically just a world gen data pack, and it makes the world look so much better. I don't know exactly what it's changing. Obviously it's changing the trees and that. But I think it does also change the sky color, because the sky does look like a nice faint blue. So just flying around, you can see what this changes. There is a lot of generation to the world. I especially like this area right here, where it's kind of like the cliff is being held up by the stone. And this data pack is especially good for if you like to play with a modded looking world, but you don't want to download mods. Although it doesn't add any new blocks, it does a perfect job of changing up the Minecraft world to make it look different. Now I'm currently just flying around so you get a rough look at what the biomes can look like. There's all moss over this spruce village, which is kind of cool. There is then also a mega taiga biome right here. And cherry grove biomes seem to have little ponds with stone and clay. And these seem to be just scattered around. So this data pack is definitely one that you should download and try. Oh wow, that looks amazing. The way the birch forest has gone up and it's all stony. I really do like the look of that as well. This data pack does also add some new biomes. For example, the biome we are in right now is called the Sparse Forest. Now inside the vanilla game there's the Sparse Jungle, but this is basically just a forest version where the trees are a bit more scattered around. There are some piles of stone and moss. Anyway, let's now cover the second data pack. Now the second data pack is called Minecraft Compendium. I think I'm saying that correct. And this data pack adds a load of quest-like achievements or advancements to basically track progress within the game. For example, this exploration page does it so you can see the biomes you have discovered, as there is one for every single biome in the game. So with this, you can track the biomes you have been in, and you can also maybe have a competition with friends or a server to be the first to discover all biomes. Now, it's not just biomes, there is also structures. So for example, if I was to teleport myself to a structure, and because this is for Minecraft 1.21, let's teleport ourselves to a trial chamber. So there we go, we've now entered the trial chamber, so it has given us the quest or the advancement for the trial chamber. Let me just grant myself every single advancement, which is going to grant me all the modded ones as well, and this is going to be very loud. But if I quickly now just look, you can see the ones for the structures. There is one for every single structure, from the rarer ones to the easier to find ones. There is then also exploration, which we covered, which is the biomes. There is then also one for mobs, which this is for, I don't actually know if this is taming the mob or killing the mob. It don't exactly say what grants these. I'm guessing killing the mob or maybe getting within a radius of them might work. But there are also ones for every single mob in the game. And it also does give you a little bit of information about what that mob is and what the use of it in the game is. And that is it. There is the mob, there is the exploration, and there is the structures. And this data pack is really cool, and I like the concept of it just because it makes it so players can track what they are doing without the use of stats, because I know you can kind of do it with stats, but this way it does it so it's within one screen and you can kind of see what mobs you still need to find or interact with. Now the third data pack we're going to cover makes a change to villagers. Inside of a Minecraft 1.20 point something, they made a change where villagers can no longer restock more than once per entity. And this data pack basically reverts that. So if I was to quickly just drop this villager into a hole, and if I was to turn this villager into a zombie, which I'm going to use a husk just because they don't burn in the daytime, let's also make sure it is difficulty of hard, so it's 100% chance. This villager is currently being cured. One thing I want to know, if I increase the tick speed, which I don't know how, I think that was, yeah, it was dash tick, and then if I do it sprint, and let's do it 1 day. If I sprint it by 1 day, will that speed up the curing process or doesn't it? I'm not actually too sure. It does. Okay, I did not know that. So there we go. We can now see that it has been made a bit cheaper. It's gone from 18 to 3. Now that's curing it 1 time. You can see it has also been renamed to 1. If I was to now let the husk kill the villager again. So I guess the best way for me to do this is just kill the husk as we have done it a second time. So let's now throw that down and queue you, and then I can speed it up with the sprint again. And then as soon as it has turned into a villager, which normally takes about 30 seconds sprinting up the game, there we go. I can now stop, and we can now see it's gone down to 1, which originally this was 3, and that went from 18 to 14. And you can see it has now changed to 2. So this data pack basically makes it so you can queue them, and there is a maximum of 10 times per villager. So you can queue one villager up to 10 times to make the trades cheaper. Now the fourth data pack we are going to cover is one that makes some changes to the music discs and the shards. So if we now quickly have a look at music discs, you can see there is recipes for every single disc in the game. Each recipe is duplicating the music disc, but there are some few things to note. It requires at least one of the music discs you want to duplicate, which I do really like because it means you have to at least explore for one of that disc. And then it requires a random disc, which you're basically just copying the music disc you want onto. And the blocks around it depend on the type of music disc, with most of the 4 blocks in the corners being deep slate tiles, some of them being netherrack and copper versions, as well as terracotta. And then it also seems like it's always diamonds in these 2 slots, apart from the music disc 5, which requires echo shards, and the pig step, which requires netherite, and also this one, which requires 2 pottery shards. The block in the middle is dependent on the music disc you are duplicating, but I really do like this because it means that you can get any music disc pretty easily, just requiring a few more resources. And I also do like that you need to have the music disc you're duplicating first. Then this is also the same for pottery shards. You can see every single shard recipe is the same, requiring 4 bricks and 3 copper. And then in the top slot here is the pottery shard you want to duplicate. And then the one in this slot is one you have spare that you don't need, that you then want to turn into the top one. So once again, this does require you to have one of the ones you want to duplicate first. The fourth data pack we're going to cover is when you sleep inside of a bed inside of the game. When you wake up in the morning, the world hasn't really changed. It doesn't really simulate that you have slept, apart from the time has been set to morning. Well, if I enable this data pack, which is called SleepTick, and we now sleep in a bed, we are basically watching them crops. So if we now sleep in the bed, and we let the time turn to day, you can see when you wake up in the morning, it has sped up the crop growth. Not much, but it has slightly. So let's quickly just try this again. Let's set it to nighttime. You can see that the crops have some stages to them, with this one being the most grown one. If I was to now jump in the bed, and then we was to wake up again, you will see that it does speed up the growth a little bit when you wake up, basically trying to recreate the world passing time from nighttime to morning. Now, all this data pack does is it changes the random tick speed for a few seconds when you get out of the bed. So it's basically just doing this command, /game rule random tick speed, and it's changing the value here. So anything that is affected by random tick speed will be affected by this data pack. So although this data pack is quite small, and it only does that one small minor change, I think it is a cool data pack to have, because sometimes in your world, you won't have to wait as long, especially if you like to sleep in a bed of a night time. But anyway, that is it for this video. If you enjoyed the 5 data packs I showcased, then do leave a like and subscribe, as it does really help out. And once again, if you have any data packs you'd like me to showcase, then leave them in my Discord or in the comments. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.